So, some people may assume that I've been an athlete my entire life, but that's actually not the case. I never played sports. It was actually a series of events that led to that moment right there, which is one of the biggest accomplishments I've ever reached for. I'm still proud of it to this day. So, growing up, I was a bit of a wild child, and I just developed this confidence to jump in the water or do whatever, whenever, wherever. I loved it so much, the water was my happy place, and that kind of carried over, which now leads me to triathlon. So I actually fell in love with triathlon. It was the very first triathlon I ever did. I didn't train for it, and my very first time swimming in open water was race morning. Not the smartest idea. I highly don't recommend it. So I was actually supposed to bike for this relay team until I showed up race morning and was handed a wetsuit. I just put it on and dove in the water like I've always done. It was an experience. We'll just leave it at that. But how does this happen? So this isn't your average triathlon. It's in Malibu, and it wouldn't be Hollywood without a celebrity division, which I had received an invitation to be a part of because at the time I was on a reality TV show. Apparently that was a qualifier. Regardless, it was for charity, and it lit the biggest spark in me. I went home that afternoon, found a local race, and registered for my first full triathlon. I fell in love with the sport, and from there, it was the community, it was the competition, it was how it just kept me healthy. I was biking a lot, I was running a lot, and then my swim training was going to the ocean on Saturdays. I never swam a lap in a pool, and it was actually probably like a full 1.5 to 2 years before I actually was like, okay, I'm gonna go to a pool and get a training session in. And from there, it was another year of just swimming in a pool and not knowing what the heck I was doing. I didn't know what a 50 was. I didn't know what a 100 was. I knew the difference between yards and meters, but I didn't know that there was even like specific pools. I absolutely clueless. And when I say clueless, I mean, I would go to the pool and tie one of those torpedo-looking things around my waist that would slow you down. I literally thought that's how you get faster. I think they're called a swim parachute. Anyways, I was having the best time traveling all over the place, racing, doing things that I've never even thought I was capable of. And I'd never played sports. It was so empowering and so motivating. As like a year or 2 years went by, and my goals got bigger, I wanted to be more competitive. And so I had to learn a little bit about it. The one thing I did learn is that if I got competitive enough, I could be a part of Team USA as an amateur athlete. And I had only been figuring it out by myself up until that point. So I hired a coach to help me, and I realize now that that was the moment everything changed.
I am so happy to say that the first race of the year for me is over and done with. I have a lot of things to say about this race because a lot of things happen that have never happened to me before. But that being said, I finished and I feel really good and I'm happy it's over with.
I wasn't even 2 minutes into this swim and I had a massive panic attack. It was the scariest moment in the water I've ever had. I don't ever want to relive it again. This was the first race I had done after I had qualified for Team USA, and it wasn't as fun. And looking back, I realized that even though I had two of the coolest coaches you could possibly ask for, I had such high expectations that it just wasn't even fun. And it wasn't until beaches were closed, races were canceled, that I really had time to step away from all of it. And I found myself going back to doing the things that I've always loved doing, and that's just being in the water and jumping in and swimming. And I've really started to miss racing and training. And so where am I going with all this? Well, here's where I turn the page on a brand new chapter, because last week I went to the pool for the first time in over a year. And while some of my goals might be the same moving forward, the journey to nationals this time around is going to be very different. New goggles, who this? How do I look? Oh my God, I cannot believe this. That is so cool. It's just it's so subtle, but it's so amazing. So I've got the app. I've got the goggles synced. I can set it for lap swim, technique, pace, or intervals. I'm just gonna go with lap swim today. I'm not trying to overwhelm myself. And my rest screen, I've got my heart rate and pace for 100. I've got it set on yards, 25-yard pool. I'm ready. So when I raced nationals last time, I had a coach telling me what to do, providing feedback. I'm set on full swim, 25 yards. And I missed out on learning, which is what made it so fun for me in the beginning. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna train myself this time. This is the true test. The one thing that was so valuable about having a coach was having feedback. And I get a lot of that when I run and bike because I have a watch, but I've never had that for swimming, which is why I'm so excited to have the form goggles this time around, because it literally provides feedback while you're swimming. You can see your pace, your heart rate, like in the pool, floating in front of you. Like, it couldn't be a cooler opportunity to really learn and grow on my own. This is insane. This is crazy. I don't know if I've ever swam that fast before, or if I'm just really excited right now. Today is the very first swim that I'm doing to set myself up for age group nationals, which are officially 18 weeks away. It's a 1,500 yard test. So going on the minute 40 interval, that might actually be a little difficult for me, if I'm being completely honest. I haven't really trained in a very long time consistently. I'm just getting back into it. This is my 4th swim with the form goggles, so I'm excited to actually set kind of a foundation to improve upon today, and so here we go. So that went so much better than I expected. 140 was a little tough for me, but I'm really happy with the consistency. I was very consistent for most of those hundreds, and I think this is a really good start to a new chapter and something really fresh and exciting for me. So today's a big day, and I'm very happy about it.